Hey everybody! Joy here! How are all of you today? It seems like a Sunday. Every day seems like Sunday to me. We've been watching Pastor Hagee at night on the TV. He's got some really good sermons from earlier years that come up on YouTube. So we've been watching those. So it seems like every day's Sunday around here. I just wanted to say hi. Tell you I'm sounding more like myself these days. I'm taking very little meds. I was taking Mucinex, 2 every 8 hours, and I don't know if it was helping or not helping, but I decided today to just quit taking them and see if I'm still alive, and so far I am. That cough syrup's powerful stuff though, that Robitussin DM. Don't take it unless you're going to bed at night. So here you can see I've got the Christmas trees done. And over on my devotion channel this morning, I added these little red cardinals to it. They're just pinned on. I have steam on the back of them, and I was going to iron them on the quilt when I got the quilt top made. Not when I got it quilted, when I got it made. And I was going to put these red birds on there because I thought they were so cute. Then I thought, in real life, there's no bird going to land on the ground next to the tree and reach the bottom branch. Well, maybe he could reach the bottom branch, but he's not going to be as tall as the trunk. And then I thought, well, maybe my trees have cut off trunks, and their trunks were really this long. But anyway, I really like the pop of red from the 5 birds. This one's looking that way. This one's looking that way. This one's looking that way. There are 5 different birds from this same fabric. You know, my fabric I was going to make a blouse out of. I've chopped it up into strips. I was going to do the binding with it. So anyway, the quilt is done. I still can add the cardinals, but I wanted to ask you what you think about the cardinals. Do they just look really stupid and dumb? They're the wrong size. Of course, you know, it's not like the trees are the right size either compared to a real tree, but if this really was a real tree, the bird would be as big as one of these little red berries in my mind. Anyway, took the birds off. I don't think I'm going to put them on, but tell me if you think I should have. So here's the deal for the day. Name that quilt. Name that quilt. Remember, was it Kathy Lee Gifford that was in that song? Of course, you know, unless you're ancient like me, you're not going to remember it. But there was a show called Name That Tune, and she would sing 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 notes of a song. Some people could figure out what song it was, like in 2 notes. Unbelievable. I couldn't figure out what song it was in 50 notes, so. We're gonna name that tree. I don't know what to call it. So if one of you will name it for me, I would really love it. And I might even send you a surprise. The only problem with that is somebody may name it and then 15 other people might name it the same thing. And so it's really hard to choose that way. But anyway, I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me name my quilt. All I can think of is green trees. So original and exciting. So, what have I been doing? Well, yesterday I made jewelry. You want to see what I made? I'm not going to show you all the jewelry I made because I've already mailed off one set. And so I'm going to show you what I made for Terry because I think they are gorgeous. I'm out of the colors that I made these earrings with, but I think they are so pretty. And it's not my design. It's a free design. You can make them. You that make jewelry out there, you can get the pattern just like I got the pattern. YouTube. Google, search on YouTube for Gina's Gem Creations. She has hundreds of free patterns, and she shows you bead by bead by bead by bead how to make things. So this was her pattern. I think it was 2019. Maybe this was her Christmas pattern. It's not real recent. Can you tell? Can you tell that the center of the crosses pokes out, pokes forward? Aren't they pretty? In my opinion. I understand everybody's different. It's why it's hard to make jewelry for my friends. I'm like, I think these are beautiful, but what if they think they're super ugly? So these are Swarovski crystals. I'd make some for my friend Deb, but I don't know if Deb would like them. Deb's got tons and tons of hair, and she's real pretty, and I don't really know. I know her well, but I don't know that she wears a lot of jewelry. But boy, I'd sure make these for her if I knew she'd want them. You know, I don't want to make something for somebody they think, I wish she quit making me jewelry. But I've made a lot of jewelry for Terry, and I know she really loves it. Terry and her husband are in the ministry, and they travel. I mean, they've gone clear to England with the church we used to go to. It's a church we used to go to here called Victory Life. And we used to really love it until the young people took over and changed all the music, and we can't stand the music. But Terry and Doug are 10 years younger than we are, and they still like that stuff. I like worshipful music. I'm Cornerstone type, okay? This new thing where it is so loud. Oh, I've gone to they have this thing every summer, this called Jubilee, where they have a week-long revival sort of thing. And I had to move to the farthest back of the building and up at the highest part of the bleachers because the music was so loud. It was deafening. So that's not me. And I think it's wrong for them to destroy all the hearing of those young people with that super ridiculously loud music. But I guess the kids listen to it that way at home. I don't know. So, how did I get off on that? Oh, I was just telling you, the reason Terry doesn't have time to watch me, number one, is she's got 7 kids and 1 million grandkids, and they're in the ministry, and they travel all the time, and they're at church 10 times a week. But she always dresses beautifully to go to church, and she wears jewelry. She wears it. I've seen her wear mine several times. So I really love to make it for her. I used to make a ton of jewelry for my friend Margaret, because Margaret went to church every week, and she was always running around with her girlfriends. But she's of the age now that she's not able to drive, and so she spends most of her time just staying at home. So, and I'm not up there, so I can't go get her and take her anywhere like I used to. I sure do miss that, though. All right, you want to see what else I've been doing? Now, the earrings aren't my pattern, and I told you where I got those. And the next thing I have been doing is not my idea. It's not my idea. I was watching one of the 10 million YouTube videos that I watch. I watch a lot of ones on hacks. I watch a lot of ones where people go to Dollar General and they drag all this stuff home and make things out of it. Or they go to the Dollar Tree. I watch a lot of sewing, sewing videos. Not how to make a blouse or how to make pants, but how to store your stuff, how to organize your stuff maybe. A new way to do this. Becky over there at Power Tools with Thread just came up with a fabulous way to organize her fabric. I don't need it because I have lots and lots and lots of storage here already. But what she came up with, she got from Uline. We used to use Uline when we owned our medical equipment business. We ordered things from Uline. So you might want to watch Power Tools with Thread and see her fabric storage. On wheels! On wheels. Awesome. So things like that. You just watch somebody's YouTube video and they say, oh, look at me how I do this. And I'm like, oh, what a great idea. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing yesterday and today. And let me get the camera off the tripod and I'll drag you around my messy sewing room and show you what I've been doing. Stay with me. So here's my mess over here. You have to have some command stuff. I've been ordering several different sizes of this command stuff from Amazon because it is just so amazing. It's so amazing how it comes unstuck and doesn't damage anything. So this package had little tiny little hooks. I'm looking for a size. Holds 0.5 pound. There was 6 of the hooks and 8 of the little hangers. So these are tiny. Let me show you how tiny. Can you see this tininess? Let me show you on my black tea kettle. Can you see it there? Tiny. So the idea was I wanted some hooks to hang scissors on. So I started out with these, but I put it on a couple places and the scissors wouldn't stay on them because they were too tiny. So then I ordered what I thought was called small. This bag doesn't have a label at all. but I ordered what I think was called small, but they may be medium. I need to check that for you. I'll type it right here. I'll look them up on Amazon, see what they are, and I'll type what size they are right here. So these come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these come 6 to 8 in a bag. Yeah, I think you get 8 of this size hook and you get 12 of these hanger thingies to go with them. Now, why didn't I just use the teeny tiny ones? Because the teeny tiny ones would not work on some of the places I wanted to put them. It wouldn't hold certain scissors. So you want to know what I did with them? Well, let me show you. You all have seen my sewing room with my many sewing machines. Many sewing machines, all very well loved. This is a Gina Cover Pro 1000 CPX cover stitch machine. That's my Bernina 1130 right there. This is one of my Enlightens. I have 3 of them, I think. Pretty sure I have 3 of them. Enlighten Serger. This is one of the cheaper machines that I have called the Virtuosa 155, and I bought it years and years ago in Plano, Texas at a Bernina dealership there, but it's not there anymore. They have a different one now in Dallas owned by somebody else, but I have no clue what I bought that one for. I think because I had an automatic needle threader. This is my Baby Localissimo. It's usually undercover. This is my second cover stitch machine. This is an Elna 434, and it's the exact same machine as the other one, but one's called a Janome and one's called an Elna. Who knows why? One of my Bernina B740s. I've got 2 of these because remember I used to have 2 houses. And this is my, I told you a while ago, B1130, my 1130S. This came also in brown and tan, and I didn't want any brown sewing machines, and they came out with this special edition right here just for a short time. You can't find another one anywhere in the whole wide world. Came out for a very short time, and I bought it because it was blue and white, and I loved it because of that. And over here I have my Solaris quilt, my Solaris embroidery machine. Here I have an old Bernina 2000 DCE serger, the kind that I don't like because you have all of these knobs you have to move around and it's practically impossible to thread. And then here's another one of my Enlightens right here. Okay, so you see all these machines, and my room's a mess, so please just close your eyes for the messy part. All of these machines, I have done something to them. Who has figured it out? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Oh my gosh, you all figured it out already. You're so smart. I used to tie strings, little tiny 1/4-inch elastic. I used to tie scissors onto that and then attach it to one of the spools and have it hanging down. Hey, listen, I didn't get this machine done yet. You want to see how I do it? Do you want to see? What you have to do is figure out where on the machine you can hang these scissors. You have to figure it out. Then you have to clean the machine with alcohol, and then you do your sticky thing and put it up there. But what I did was I took the hook. Number one, I figured out if the scissors fit in the hook or not. That's why I had to have 2 different sizes. And then I would hang it from the hook, and I would just hang it all over the machine to see where it would hang and not get in the way of something else, not cover something up. Let's go see how we did it on my other machine that's a carbon copy of that one. Joy, slow down. Right there is where I ended up putting it on this other machine. My cover stitch. See, it's on the command hook. Here we are on this one, on the command hook. Isn't that just wonderful? Why didn't we think of this? Way back in 1986 when I started buying these. I had to figure out on every machine because every one was different. There's where I put it there in the Elissimo. Here's where I put it on my 2 570s. I have another one out in the other room. You can see some of them I used the bigger hook. Most of them I used a bigger hook. There's the 1130 where I hung it. And you can see that it's touching this turny thing right here. And I knew that, and I checked for that. And I could change the scissors. Why don't I change the scissors to a set that closes? There you go. So see, if I hang it like that, it doesn't run into anything. This is a needle threader down here. Did I show you here on the Solaris? I had to hang it way down there on the Solaris. That was the only way I could hang it where it didn't run into something else. Here is where I hung it on the old Bernina Serger. And over here is where I'm hanging it. How do you like Wireland back there? This is where I'm hanging it on the Enlighten. So every single machine, all I have to do is reach for the scissors. And they're there, and I can just put them back. Now what if when you're sewing it makes a terrible racket? Well, I'll just take the scissors off. And then when I get done with my project, I'll hang them back up again. I'll come out here just to show you my other 3 machines. Here is my third Enlighten right here. And this, I didn't do the best job on this one. You know what? They're real easy to take off. You know these command things all have this little thing that you pull and they just come unstuck and they don't damage anything. Well, I remember doing this one. I decided that I can still move this little knob right here and it doesn't get in the way of the scissors. And once you choose one of your letters, it's no problem. It's not going to bother it at all. So that's what I did on that one. Here's another. This is my very, very first serger. My very first when I was a baby. Back in 1986 when I bought my 930, I bought this serger to go with it. So that's how old that is. And there's its scissors on the side. That still sews just as good as it ever did, my friends. And then here's my other B740. I think I called it the wrong number in there. I get my numbers all mixed up these days. I probably called it a 470. And over here is where we hung the scissors on it. Look what I can do now. I can come over here and I can remove Tree Quilt. Tree Quilt. So now all I have left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quilts to finish. How about that? Okay, so that's pretty much all I had to show you today. I wanted you to help me name my tree quilt. I wanted to show you all of my scissor applications. Just remember to use the alcohol and clean the surface first. And then when you stick it onto the sewing machine, you have to hold it there for 30 seconds. But I think it would hold in 1 second. I mean, once it's stuck, it's stuck. And the scissors aren't very heavy, of course. So I love organization, as you know. And so I thought when I started this, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to buy some more little scissors. I haven't even used all the ones I already own. I'm so bad or good. You know, scissors wear out. For me, it's the tips. The tips always wear out and they don't cut at the tips. And so when I go to Joann's and Joann's has scissors 50% off, I'll usually buy 2 or 3 pair of the little scissors when they're half price. So Walmart actually has some pretty good scissors too. This right here, I have a whole bunch of these and they're from Walmart. And it's titanium and they're called Westcott. And you can see they're a little bit curved, so they're wonderful for trimming threads. And I'm sure they're super, super cheap if they're from Walmart. The only thing you're going to have to remember is you're going to have to make a new law in the house that nobody takes the scissors away from the machine. Not allowed. One thing was when they were tied on the machine with a little piece of string or the elastic, nobody could take them. So we have to make sure that the scissors stay with the machine. But I don't think I'll have any problem with that. Now that I know that every machine has its own pair. I just think that's the handiest thing since sliced bread. Alright, dear ones, I miss you so much. I want to get back to sewing. Oh, I want to get back to sewing. But I want to finish the kitty quilt before I get back to sewing. And I think I can get it done before the end of the year. I'm going to take it back out of its box and I'm going to get the kitty quilt top done. And then I've got to quilt it and I'm going to have to custom quilt it. So, I don't know. Don't hold me to it. And I hate to even admit this. Oh my gosh, did I admit this? I have been so good. I have been so good. I have not ordered fabric for 2 months or more. I have not ordered it. I have bought greens. I have gone and I bought greens, and then I bought the gold, the yellows, and the oranges for the fall quilt. But for fabric for making clothes, have not bought any. So, I am thinking that it's not that terrible that I'm spending money on the quilting fabric and the quilting hobby and all of the things that go along with it. Because I kind of turn one hobby off and then I turn the other one on, and I'm sure you all do the exact same thing. But this is the part I wasn't going to admit. Oh, you know, I had 7 quilts to do, right? You realize I just got the tree quilt done. I still have 6 more. Well, I found the cutest panel this morning. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to show it to you because I want it to be a surprise for next year. But it is a panel of Santa Claus sewing a quilt. Big quilt on his lap, and it shows him with a needle and thread stitching it. Oh, I looked and I looked and I thought, oh, I don't want to make Christmas about Santa Claus. I want to make Christmas about Jesus. And I looked for nativity panels, and I just couldn't find any that floated my boat. There was one that I really liked, but it would have been very small. And it was just Joseph and Mary and the baby, and they were beautiful. I mean, they looked like real people, and they were real. It was a really pretty quilt, but I thought, you know, it would have been really little, and there was no animals in it, no stable in it. And then the ones that did have that, they were either like little precious moments, little cartoon type characters almost. Or, I don't know, I'm just real picky about what baby Jesus looks like. So, I stuck with Santa Claus. I think, it seems to me, my friend Becky sent me a nativity quilt one year. She sent me some kind, I think she did. And you know, of course I put it away someplace where I'd be sure to find it. I'm going to look around for that this afternoon and see if I can find it. Because I can't do the Santa Claus one until next year. But if I can find the one she sent me, I could at least hang a picture of it up somewhere, you know, that's not quilted yet. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. All right, how amazing am I? How amazing am I? I actually filed this under panels. Now, I am pretty sure that Becky sent this to me. How pretty is that with all those blues in it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Do you think I could make this quilt? Do you think I could turn this into a quilt in the next 2 hours? Oh my goodness. Do I think I can? I have no idea. But I'm going to try. I'll be back. So thank you, Becky Thompson. Did you all think I could make a quilt in less than 2 hours? Well, I did. I really did. It's a little after 5 now, but that's because I had to go help Burnsides. He had an emergency. He has this great big long chainsaw. It's like a little chainsaw on the end of a real long pole, and he had it stuck up in a branch in a tree. So you want to see my quilt? You could make these panel quilts pretty quickly if you have the fabric that you want to use. I spent the first hour looking for fabric because I could not find any blues that I liked with it. I didn't know if I wanted to use brown with it or if I wanted to use black with it or what I wanted to do. Of course, I've got fabric all over the floor out there again. I'm not going to get the trees put away or the fall quilt put away till I quit. I have to quit. So, you want to see it? I've got it blowing in the breeze over here, hanging on my long arm. I'll take the camera down and give you a glance at my new Nativity quilt 2021. How does that look? The air conditioner's blowing, so it's blowing in the breeze. So what do you think? I will bind it with the dark. It's really the dark that looks like black is a real dark navy, I think, and it actually has a little bit of blue going through it, but you can't see it much. So what do you think? I thought I might put the twinkle stars. Let me get the twinkle stars and tell me what you think of it. This is an insert I went ahead and cut out the 4 stars, and I've got them pinned only into the corners, not evenly spaced. I've spent an hour evenly spacing them. But I think they look good. I really do. So tell me, should I put the stars or should I not put the stars? And say, we couldn't care less what you do if that's the way you really feel about it. It's okay. Everybody's got different tastes. I get that. Probably most of you are saying, why did you make it all blue? Because I love it. It's all blue. Oh, love it. End of insert. Gonna let you go for now. I don't need to name that quilt. It's obviously just a panel, but I love it. I just love it! I actually forgot that I had it, so I'm so glad the thought came to my lightning fast mind. I don't know if it was last year she sent that to me or the year before, but it is really, really something. And you notice that they're riding. She's riding on the donkey, and she's already had the baby. So they must be on their way to Egypt, because you know, the king tried to kill the baby. The king killed all the newborn babies. Boy, what is with the devil? He just hates babies, doesn't he? Tried to kill all the newborn babies, so Jesus had to flee to Egypt, I believe it was. And that's why the wise man brought him all of that treasure. You know, I heard somebody say one time, I just thought it was the dumbest thing I ever heard. Somebody said, well, I don't know why they brought him that frankincense and gold and myrrh. Why didn't they bring him a baby blanket? Well, because he had to flee for his life to Egypt, and that money and the gold and the myrrh, the frankincense was very, very valuable, and I'm sure it financed his parents' trip to Egypt and probably several years of his life. God knows what we need, and that's what he gives us, even when we're a newborn baby. I'm going to let you go. I better go see if Jerry's safe, sound, and secure, and I have to fix him some supper. I think we're going to have chicken cordon bleu, or maybe some soup. We shall see. He doesn't feel good now, you know, so maybe chicken noodle soup. I might make some of that. Love y'all. I'll be back soon.